grew up in a Christian household. I'm sure many of you have. So you know what it's like, Sunday school, the whole thing. Just my faith was, decent. Through high school, I had all like my Christian church friends. Felt pretty good with my faith. I was going through a bunch, but I think I was just used to having God and whatever. And then I hit college, and like Shane said, I defined that 70 to 80% that fall off. Like the summer leading into college, I just was getting drunk all the time, hanging out with the wrong people. You know, my parents would try to say, like, you're hanging out with the wrong people, but I was 16, 17, 18, I'm obviously not going to listen to it, you know. So I get to college, and I can honestly say I think I remember like 15% of my freshman year. Alcohol was my God. And I just let myself fall. I let myself start hating God, hating my faith. I was like, no, I have to, find myself kind of like wanting to convince others that I was like cool and all that, and I was like the crazy drunk kid, and I just fell into temptation. I let myself go, and I lost the sense of who I was. And I had two roommates, and they weren't into that whole scene. They weren't Christians, but they were definitely they didn't party, so they would try to like snap me out of it. And I was like, no, like I'm happy doing this. I wasn't happy doing it, and I didn't know why I wasn't unhappy, if that makes any sense. And then so like that whole year I was just sucked, sorry, but it was, I don't know, it was just bad. And then sophomore year, same thing, but I'd say like around Christmas time, sophomore year, I started feeling like, okay, there's something in my heart I know is wrong, but what is it? And I knew it was God, but I would never admit that to myself, because I had all these friends and I couldn't change. Like if I told my friends I wanted to like get back on my faith, they'd disown me, and it was all about me with them, and it was never about God. I just put myself and my earthly perception before anything else. And then, so that whole year, I didn't do anything productive. During all this time, grades slipped. My GPA right now is horrible, so getting into grad school hopefully works. But anyway, I just on every level of my life, I just let myself go. I've always been a good person. I've always been, a good friend, but just the way I was treating myself and my body and my intentions, just everything just wasn't the way God would want it to be. And I was just lost. I remember sitting in my room in freshman year, like hungover, tired, like miserable, and my roommates would be like, you need to snap out of this, and I just didn't know what to do. So then junior year, God took a baseball bat to my face. He was like, I was getting ready to go to Spain for a 6-month abroad trip. And so that summer leading into junior year, I was like, okay, I need God. Like I can't go to another country for this long with like this horror. I need God as my foundation. I need to go to Spain and come back knowing that I spent my time there for God and not for how I've been. So that was a really intense kind of epiphany for me. So then I started focusing on my faith, trying to, I don't know if you guys know anything about UMass, but I live on Hobart Lane, and you hear Hobart, and everyone's like, oh, you live in Hobart, yeah! And I'm like, yeah, it's just like the #1 party place, and I honestly only live there because it's cheap. I didn't go for I actually hate the fact that it's a huge party neighborhood, but, so you can just imagine, like, for me, my reputation at UMass is like the funny party kid, and now all of a sudden she's like trying to get back on her faith. Oh wait a second, she lives on Hobart. It was just like the most confusing time ever. This whole realization thing happened about a year ago, early October. So really tried to really focus. I started praying again. I remember sitting in my bed for the first time praying in like years, and I was just like, God, this is weird, but I definitely got myself back on track enough to go to Spain, like amped up for Jesus. So I went to Spain, and I can honestly say if it weren't for him, I would not have succeeded the way I did. In Spain, I was in 17 credits. It was the best GPA I've had out of all my semesters. So I think that's just a blessing. Like, my grades slipped so much, and then I go to this foreign country. I could easily take like 12 credits and spend the rest of my time exploring the city. But God was like, you need to focus on school. Like, you need to you just need to boost yourself up academically. So I taught at high school for an internship. I tutored on Mondays, 2 little Spanish girls in English. Got like a 4.0. Yeah, I think back to it, and it's still just, it's God. I could not have done it without God. I don't know, sorry, it's just amazing. And